Hi all, welcome. In this video, we shall see Euler's method for solving ordinary differential equations. There are numerous numerical techniques for solving ordinary differential equation. The simplest one is Euler method. We shall see Euler method. We have to discuss one more method as per our syllabus, that is Runge-Kutta method, RK method. So in this video we shall be discussing about Euler's method. Now let's define the problem and let us discuss how the theory of Euler's method. So the problem is this: you will be given the differential equation dy by dx equals f of xy. Need not be a function of both x and y always, may be a function of x alone, sometimes may be a function of x as well as y. So you will be given the value of the function at x is equal to x0. So you don't know what the function y is, so this is not known to us. We don't know how y is explicitly defined. Instead, we know only the differential dy by dx. We know this thing. We also know the function, the value of the function at x is equal to x0. We know that at x is equal to x0, y is equal to y0. The problem is this: we have to calculate the value of the function y at some x point, which is x0 plus some rh, where r is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Graphically speaking, at x equal to x0, the function y is known. So these two things are known. So this is a given information, and we don't know what exactly the function is. So it can be something like this, it can be something like this, or it can be something like this, or there are numerous possibilities. Okay, so we don't know. Okay, we don't know what the function is. Now the task is this: we have to find out some value of this function at some point, say x1, which is some h away from x0. So we are given this information: at x is equal to x0, the function is y0. Now we need to calculate the function at x1 x1, that is y1. So we need to calculate this quantity. Okay, or at some other point, say x2, we don't know the function, we have to calculate, or at some other point x3. All these points are h away from the adjacent point. That means if you are considering x1, that is 1h away from x0, and if you are considering x2, that is 2h away from x0, and if you are considering x3, that is 3h away from x3. So in general, we have to calculate value of the function at some arbitrary point xr, which is rh away from x0. So if you are considering a particular point xr, in general, this distance will be RH. Okay, so this is the problem. Now the idea is very simple. You just integrate equation 1 from x0 to x1. We'll get the equation as y1 equal to y0 plus integral x0 to x1 f of xy dx. Okay, the intermediate step is obvious. From equation 1 I can write dy equals integral f of xy dx, and the variable y changes from y0 to y1 and x changes from x0 to x1. So this is the idea. So integrating, you will get this equation, because integrating dy you will get y, and applying limit you will get it as y1 minus y0, and this y0 on the LHS is taken to the RHS, giving y0 here. So that is a solution. Now the problem is this, we know that in the interval from x0 to x1, f of xy changes with respect to x as well as with respect to y, but we don't know. What we do is we just assume that this is a constant in this interval. In the interval from x0 to x1, the function is a constant and is equal to f of x0 y0, and this assumption is this: in the interval from x0 to x1, we assume that f of xy is a constant, but this will not be the case exactly. But if you are considering a very small interval, that means if your h is really small, this is a valid assumption. So the assumption is this: if you are considering a very small change in the independent variable x, that means if you are considering x0 to x1, a change from x0 to x1, and if this distance is really small, you can consider that the function is constant in that interval, and that is the assumption. Fine. So with this assumption, we can find out the integral. So since this is a constant, you can take it outside, and then integrating f of xy, it is not f of xy, we substitute that for f of x0. We substitute here f of xy as f of x0 y0. Since that is a constant, you can take outside the integral, so I took outside the integral. Then what is remaining inside the integral is dx. If you integrate dx, you will get x, and applying the limit x0 to x1, you will get it as x1 minus x0. x1 minus x0 is nothing but h, so that is why h here. Okay, hope you understood. Okay, so this gives you y1 equal to y0 plus h into f of x0 y0. Okay, so as I already remarked, this y1 will be acceptable if and only if x1 is that much closer to x0, or in other words, x1 is very much closer to x0 that h is really small. So the result of this particular technique is acceptable if and only if your h, we call here onwards h as step size, if your step size is really small. Why I call it as step size will be obvious when I discuss the next slide. Now, if you integrate the equation 1 from x1 to x2, before we integrated that from x0 to x1, now I'm going to integrate from x1 to x2, then obviously this will give you this equation, and I assume f of xy is equal to f of x1 y1 in the interval x1 to x2, then we'll get y2 is equal to y1 plus h into f of x1 y1. So that's the idea. And how you calculate x1? That is very simple. Since we know x0 and h, you can calculate x1 as x0 plus h. And how y1 is obtained? y1 is obtained in the last step, that means from equation 2, that is y1 is equal to y0 plus h into f of x0 y0. Okay, so this way you can calculate y2. generally you can calculate yr plus 1 as yr plus h into f of xr yr. So in fact the problem is something like this. Okay, this is an independent variable, this is the dependent variable. So we don't know what y is, instead you are given y dash is given. Also at x is equal to x0 the function is y0. These two things are known to us. Now actually the problem is this: you must find what is the value of the function at some arbitrary point x, that is what is this y. So this is a question. Now Euler's method will give you acceptable result if and only if your next point is really closer. That means if your h is very small. For instance, if I know the function at x is equal to 0 and I wish to calculate the function at x is equal to 1, the step size in a single step, if you make a single step, the step size will be 1 and that result will not be acceptable. So what we do is we divide that into several steps, say some 10 steps. That means you will have x1, x2, etc. You will have x10 which is equal to our x. So you are dividing this interval into 10 equal parts. Fine. Okay. So that your h is really small. H is some 0.1. So we really wish to find out the value of the function at 1, but we don't make a giant leap. Instead we make small steps. So we, instead of making giant leap, we march from x0 to x1, which is a very closer point. Then we march from x1 to x2. Then we evaluate the function at x2. We march this way. We start from x0. We march to x1. Then x1 y1. Then we march to x2 y2. Then we march to x3 y3. So on and so forth. And then we march to x10 y10. That is xy. So thus we reach the required point in the required point. Alright. So this is why we call it as marching. So you can graphically represent the information like this. So this is x0 and this is y0. So you are here. Okay. Now suppose you just guess that this is the value of the function at some x which is little bit away from x0, right? So we need to reach here. So instead of making a giant step to reach from x0 y0 to xy, what we do is we make a first step somewhere here, say x1 y1, then we make another step x2 y2, then x3 y3, x4 y4, something like this. So we march and reach here. Okay, so in a step we will make a very small in a particular step we make a very small step. Okay, so and that is why we call the size of the step as h, or in other words we call h as step size. So this way we march from one point to the unknown point. Okay, so this is how Euler's method works. Okay, now let's try some numerical example. So instead, so we just assume that y is equal to some x square plus 3. In fact, this is hidden. We don't know what exactly the function is. So it is hidden. We don't know what it. But in order to create a problem, generate a problem, and how our method works, I just guess my y is equal to x square plus 3. So that readily gives you what is dy by dx. Dy by dx is equal to 2x, obviously. Okay, so this is my f of xy. Okay, f of xy. Fine. Now we know some initial value at x is equal to 0, say y is equal to 3 obviously. So we'll represent this information using a table. Okay, x then y. At x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3. Now my idea is this: I have to find out what is the value of this function at x is equal to say 0.3. Okay, I don't know what this is. Okay, 1 second. Okay, say at 0.3 I wish to calculate what is y. Okay, so I cannot make a giant leap from 0 to 0.3 because Euler's method functions better if and only if your h is very small. For simplicity, let me take the step size as 0.1. So I start from 0 and I march towards 0.1. Then from 0.1 I march towards 0.2. So I calculate the values respectively and I find 0.3. So let us see that numerically. Our general formula is this: yr plus 1 is equal to yr plus h into f of xr yr. Fine. Now let's start with x0 y0, and this is our x0 and okay, so this is my x0 and this is my y0. Okay, so starting from x0 y0 I can calculate y1 equal to y0 plus h into f of x0 y0. Correct? Now I'm going to make substitution. So my y0 is 3 and my h is 0.1 and f of x0 y0 is, so what is f of xy? It's just 2x. F of xy is 2x. So 2 into x0. What is x0? 0. So 3 plus 0.1 into 0, that is just 3. So I obtained it as 3 only. So this is now my x1 and this is my y1. So the next step, so now I arrived marching from x0 y0, I marched up to x1 y1. Now what is the next step? Now you have x1 y1, so obviously you can calculate y2. So what is y2? It's y1 plus h into f of x1 y1. Now we do make the substitution. So my y1 is 3 and h is 0.1. Okay, so 0.1 into 2x is my f of xy. So 2 into my present x value is 0.1, that is x1. So into 0.1. So 2 into 0.1 is 0.2. When you multiply 0.2 with 0.1, you will get 0.02. Then 3 plus 0.02 is 3.02. 3.02. Fine. So this is my y2. Okay. So at x2, I calculated y2. So y2 is also ready. Now we'll calculate what is y3. So y3 is y2 plus h into f of x2 y2. So what is my y2? That is 3.02. And what is my h? H is 0.1. Now what is f of xy? It's 2x. So 2x2, that is 2 into 0.2. So 2 into 0.2 is 0.4. 0.4 into 0.1 is 0.04. So 3.02 plus 0.04. So upon adding you get 3.06. So at 3 it is 3.06. So this is my y3, or this is my required answer. So I arrived at x3 y3. Fine. So Thus I have calculated from this differential of the function, I calculated the value of the function at 0.3. Since we know the value of the function, since it is hidden, that means I never use this function to arrive at this point, but still let us cross check the result. So we know that the true value of phi is x square plus 3. Now my x square is 0.3 square plus 3, so that is 0.09 plus 3, that is 3.09. You please compare this result with the result we obtained. So you can see that there is no good agreement, and this is because my step size is really small. Now I request you to try with a even smaller step size, say 0.01. You will be getting a better result. Okay, so while we do a Python code for solving differential equation, we will take the same example, and we will try how the result changes with the decreasing step size. Fine. So hope you understood the procedure. So let's recall the procedure. So the idea is in fact really simple. So how do you proceed? So the method is really simple. You will be given some xy's, so x0, y0, and you will also be given f of xy. You will be given this function explicitly. So using this you can calculate x1 y1, which is equal to y0 plus f of xy, means x0 y0. So I can say that new value of y new equals previous value of y previous plus h into f of x previous comma y previous. Or as an iteration, you can say that y is to be replaced with previous y plus h into function evaluated at the present value of x and y. So it's like this. Okay, your y is to be replaced with the previous value of y plus h into f of xy, and x is to be replaced with previous value of x plus h. So these steps must be repeatedly done until you finish, or until you march from x0 to the given point x. So this is the algorithm. So you will be having an initial value for x and y. You will be having an initial value for x and y. Then you will be given a function f of xy, or we will define a function f of xy. So that means f of xy is known, h is known, y is known, as well as x is known. So starting from that value, we repeatedly do these steps. To calculate the new value of x and y. So we iterately do these steps. We calculate y, new value of y, we calculate new value of x, we go back, we calculate new value of y, we calculate new value of x. So it keep on like this. Okay, it keeps on like this. So once you reach this step, you will go back to this step. Then you proceed like this. You calculate y, then you calculate x, again you go back to y, until your march ends, or when you march towards your destination, when you march and reach your destination. So that's the algorithm. Okay, in fact we have discussed a very simple technique, and we have discussed a numerical example, but this is really important for us. So many problems has to be solved using this method. Okay, so in the next video I shall be explaining the Python code, and in the next video before that. So please note that Euler's method can be used to solve only first order differential equations. So we'll be discussing how a second order differential equation can be solved using the same technique, Euler's method. Okay, thank you.